shoddy ass, but you can probably tell by my voice. Go back and watch like the Malibu videos and the La Brea, and then watch this. I'm feeling a lot better now today, Papa Dude, which is definitely a relief for sure.
No doubt. We had Christmas over here on Saturday, and he came over and we gave him the COVID test here. And I haven't seen very many COVID tests, but I've seen a few. Never seen one go positive so quick as that one did.
I've had it 4 times now.
4 times.
Right. So the first one was the original, and it was awful. It was 10, 12 days of just feeling like shit. The next 2 were nothing, like nothing at all. Like you wouldn't even have thought you had it. This one's like a mix between the 2. It was like 2 days, 2 or 3 days of, this isn't anything. 3 days of like the original COVID where you just felt awful. And now 2 or 3 days later, it's like, I'm not 100%, but I'm 90%. I'm getting over it. So all good here for me. So I've survived it once again for the
4 times.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start with NFL. We'll do an NFL game, then we'll do all the bowls today. There is a bowl game going on. Sounds like Dennis got his best bet early here. He predicted Boston College would score first. They did. If you're not watching this game, it's Boston College and SMU right now. It is live. Live from Fenway Park. Yeah, they're playing at Fenway. It is just a nasty day. The field is just soaked. It's pouring down rain. SMU leads it 7-3 right now. 9 minutes to go, second quarter. All right, let's get to today though, and get to what's going to happen today. We'll start with the NFL, which has been borderline insanity. Last week is when it started. We'll start today with the Jets at the Browns today. The Browns are 7.5-point favorites here. The total sitting here at 34.5. All right, Papa Dude, who do you like in Thursday night's game tonight?
Well, I think this all depends on how much you like the Browns, right? I mean, how good are they? Are you on them completely? Because if you are, I think you have to take them. The thing about the Jets, they're feisty. They play hard. They're not very good, but they have a way of sticking around. Short week of preparation should favor the Browns because they're at home. Do you think the Browns are 7.5 points better? That's the thing. Can you make yourself pick them? That's the deal. That half kind of bothers me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, the half bothers me, and just 7 points in general bothers me when it comes to the Browns. I do think, when it comes to the Jets, you can kind of count on them not scoring a whole lot in this game. They can't really score on much of anybody, and I think the Browns defense has shown it's pretty good, especially tough on quarterbacks and rushing the quarterback. So I went with the Browns. This is not a game I'm going to bet, though, but I did go with Cleveland. Joe Flacco probably going to score enough for the Browns to cover the spread as long as, their defense does what they're supposed to do.
And they don't turn it over and give up some points, and that's the thing. The weather may be bad there, too. Boston's pretty far away from Cleveland. But it could be cold and rainy and windy. Probably will be. But go ahead. No.
Well, I was going to say, Jason said he loves the Browns as a leg and a 2-team teaser. So he's basically buying points here and getting that Browns line down a little bit. I don't know how many points you bought there, Jason. But, I do think the Browns losing this game is pretty far-fetched, in my opinion. I think they're going to get it done. But 7.5 is a scary thing. So if you think the Browns are going to win, you buy some points and tease them down. That's not the worst idea. So anyway, what were you going to say?
They'll be 11-5 if they win this game.
You got to give a lot of credit to them. With the rotating quarterbacks, it's been amazing for the Browns.
It is, and they play in a really good division. Those teams are solid that's in that division. Their records aren't great, but anytime you got to play Pittsburgh, you got to play Baltimore, you got to play Cleveland or Cincinnati twice. Those are good teams, and so they're 11-5. They're probably going to be the 5 seed.
Yeah,
they will play the 4 seed.
Yep.
I tell you, I'd hate to play them. They get,
that
4 seed. That would be the AFC South.
Yeah, which is I think Cleveland will be a favorite in that game.
Oh, I do too.
Not knowing who they're going to play, obviously, and not knowing what's going to happen the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
But as you sat here right now, I think Cleveland would be a slight favorite against whoever that would end up being, Jacksonville or the Colts or whoever.
They're better than any of those teams in my opinion.
They seem to be, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then then it's going to be a matchup probably against the Ravens, and that's a whole different ball game if the Browns were to win.
It is, but they know them well, right?
They have a hard time beating them.
They do.
But look, I don't think it would be completely far-fetched. We've seen the Ravens kind of get in the playoffs under the Lamar Jackson era, at least, and not play so well. So they're a dangerous team. They definitely are. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah. So, all right, we're both going to think the Browns are going to win this thing, both a little bit scared to play them -7.5, but we think they will do it. All right, let's go to the college football bowl games. We have one that's your best bet, so we'll skip it for now. There's 4 games today. One, like I said, in progress. Really good game, honestly, right now between SMU and Boston College. Let's go to this one. I think this is the worst of the 4 today. Rutgers, a 2.5-point favorite here against Miami, total at 41.5. This game going to be played in Yankee Stadium, so kind of a cool venue here, the Pinstripe Bowl. Who you got in this one?
I would say the weather will be pretty bad there.
I would imagine, yes.
Yeah. New York's pretty close to Boston, so.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? I don't. You picked a dandy. I'll tell you for sure.
I think this game is going to mean a lot more to Rutgers than Miami. That's my only real take on it.
Miami doesn't have the quarterback.
I wouldn't think anybody from Miami is really going to be there.
No, and they're not used to any kind of cold.
Yeah, I don't know. They put Rutgers there to get a crowd. I imagine Rutgers people will show up. I don't know how big of a game it is for Rutgers, but it's a much bigger game than it is for Miami.
Yeah, I would be all over Rutgers, but they lost their last 4 games. So they were 6-2 and they finished 6-6. That kind of bothers me a little bit. But Miami just sucks. And I think they probably have better athletes. I'm with you. If I'm going to bet it, I'm going to take Rutgers. The total is 41.5. For a college game, that's pretty low, even though Rutgers has struggled offensively down the stretch, and that's why they ended up 6-6. I can't get that game out of my mind in Iowa when I think they shut them out, or it was 10-3 or something.
I thought Rutgers might go up there and win, and they didn't.
Yeah. So there's no way I bet this game. No way.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of these bowl games. You really got to follow it very, very closely, or you're gonna get in big trouble because you just don't know. And like I said, even when the game starts, you just don't know who's going to play and who's not. So, look, I'm going to go Rutgers here. I just it means a little bit more to them than Miami. The other thing is, you talk about Rutgers, and it's like, they're really not that good. Neither is Miami.
No.
I mean, they are just. I don't think they're any better than they were.
They're poorly coached.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I think Rutgers will definitely be ready.
Yep, I do too. In Rutgers, they do have a good coach.
These bowl games, I've got a take on USC. I'm going to save it for our show.
Okay.
To discuss later on, because these bowl games are just nuts. They're just nuts.
They are nuts. They've become a little bit more entertaining this week. I will say that. If you're
betting them,
honestly, and I know this is a betting show, we're promoting betting. If you're betting a lot of money on these games, you kind of need your head examined, unless you've got a finger on exactly what is going on, or you're betting live in game. I can see that as well.
Yeah, but the in game may be the best way to go.
I will say, if you like football, this game right now going on is kind of a fun game. It's pouring. It's kind of smash mouth. It's kind of a fun game right now, so you might tune that in after the show, of course. All right, let's go to this one. This is the big one for us. Arizona and Oklahoma today. I think this is really going to be a fun game. Arizona's a 3-point favorite. The total sits at 59.5. Arizona hardly has any holdouts. It means a lot to Arizona for sure. Now, the good news on our side, we do have obviously some people that are sitting out, some people that have transferred. OU does have a full-strength defense. That's really good news, facing a pretty good Arizona offense. And look, OU has problems on the offensive line, and they have problems theoretically at quarterback with Dylan Gabriel out, although the expectations are very high that Jackson Arnold will play a great game tonight. I think this will be two teams that want to be there, want to win. So that's the first step in maybe making a good bowl game. What do you think is going to happen here, Arizona, Oklahoma?
I think this is the best one so far. I'm going to really be stupid here. I have no interest in this game, to be honest, as an OU fan. I really don't.
Well, it's for several reasons, but go ahead.
Yeah, and it's really bad that I'm lying. I do have interest, but not the anticipation I usually have.
No.
And that's a spoiled OU fan talking here. This is a great matchup. And I love this Arizona team. I do. I think they're really good. And Brent Venables made a very interesting comment. He said this may be the best team we've played this year.
Well, he's full of shit. But
do what?
They're not, but go ahead.
Well, I think they might be the second best.
Now, that's very well could be true.
I think it's far-fetched to say that. And I'm not sure they couldn't beat Texas in certain situations. So this is a very, very good team. Carr says OU took huge hits in the portal. Well, they lost their quarterback, and that's the biggest hit for sure.
Yeah.
The offensive line's kind of tore up, but I think in these bowl games, the preparation's not what it is in other games. I think they'll be okay there. It's the quarterback, and that's why they're underdogs. And what you said, all with Jackson Arnold right now is expectations. We don't know yet. I think he'll play well. I think he's going to be a great quarterback from everything I've heard from people at OU that know what they're talking about. But he's got to do it. And I can't take OU tonight because of that. I think Arizona is really good. I really do. And I think they're second best team. They may be the second best team or third at least in the Pac-12. And that's saying something.
Yep.
You know, they almost beat Washington.
Yep.
When they played them. And they didn't play Oregon. If they played Oregon at Arizona, I think they could beat them. So I think this is going to be a heck of a ball game.
I'm going to take Arizona largely because of what Carr Ramrod says there. I just feel like you got an Arizona team. For them to get 10 wins in a season is massive. And that's not like, what's that?
Isn't this only the third time I think that they've ever won 10? Third or fourth, maybe?
It's very low. I don't know the exact number, even though I did hear that. I probably listened to the same thing you did on the preview of that. Yeah. And I think this would be the fourth, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Look, in gambling, you have to just kind of, no matter who you love, who you don't love, you kind of just have to look at the factors. And the factors are Arizona's a very good team. I think OU's ready. I think it does mean something to OU. I don't think they're the type of team that just kind of doesn't show up. And that kind of makes me scared to bet Arizona a little bit because I do think OU will be ready. But I do think overall it does mean more to Arizona. And look, the portal situation is huge. If Dylan Gabriel was playing tonight, I would pick Oklahoma. I would.
They would be favored.
And again, I have all the confidence in the world Jackson Arnold's going to be a good quarterback. But this is a really tough first test for him. This is not playing a Division I AA or FCS school. He's got to go play Arizona. It's going to be tough. I think OU will play a great game. I really do. But I think at the end of the day, Arizona's going to be able to score enough to beat Oklahoma. So I'm going to go Arizona as well.
I really think OU would be favored if Dylan was playing.
I agree. And listen, I'm not trying to pull a reverse jinx. I just handicap it for what it is. That's kind of my new theory on all this is I just look at the sheet, same with horse racing. I'm not getting involved in any of the outside stuff. Just give me the paper and I'll handicap it and tell you who's going to win. Kind of the same with this. I just look at it and go, okay, you got a quarterback that's never started against a quarterback at Arizona that has proven to be really, really good. The Pac-12 is a better conference than the Big 12 overall. Yep. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yep.
I just feel like Arizona is probably in a spot here to win the game, and that's what it is for me. So,
this is huge for them too because they're joining the Big 12 next year. You get this win coming into a new conference. I think this is a sneaky team coming into the Big 12. I really do. I think if this guy stays, if somebody doesn't get him, I'm talking about the head coach.
Yeah,
he stays. I think he could build something better at Arizona being in the Big 12 than he could in the Pac-12.
I agree. So Dennis says he thinks we're going to see what the quarterback is tonight because the SEC is going to be 3 times harder than this Arizona team. I don't know if it's going to be that drastic, but I think people when they think SEC, they think Georgia and they think Alabama, and they don't really realize those other teams really don't have defenses that are great. But it's going to be tougher, right? It is.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with Dennis in this thought that, look, if he's talking about Jackson Arnold, if he's awful tonight, we're going to hit the panic button as fans.
Oh, there's no
doubt. I mean, this is basically a kid that it's really not fair with how college football is set up, but it is in some regards. They chose this kid over Gabriel. I mean, that's kind of what happened. And if he stinks it up, we're going to hit the panic button tonight.
Oh, it's going to be hilarious.
OU doesn't need to win. He needs to play well tonight.
It's just one game, though. And that's what makes the panic button so stupid.
It is, but I'm telling you, if he goes out, look, if they go out and they lose by like 7 and they score in the 20s or 30s and he plays really well, it's fine. But say they lose like 17-10, the panic button is going to be hit tonight. So that'll be, listen, that to me, what makes it kind of fun is you got 2 teams that want to win and you got a quarterback you're seeing for the first time, really, so
it's going to be interesting.
Yep. Be very interesting game for sure. All right, let's get into some racing now. We'll go to race of the day. Aqueduct race 7. This shows you there's not a ton to talk about today. A lot more coming up in the shows to come, but we'll go to Aqueduct race 7. It's the Bay Ridge Stake going 1 mile on the dirt here. It's now a field of 6. The 7 has scratched out of the race. I thought this was a very tricky race. What did you think about this one?
Well, you're the expert, so you think it's tricky. I don't. So
okay, well, this is interesting then. I want to know who you're picking then.
Well, I just looked at it, and you know so much more about it than I do. And I didn't get into it a whole lot. I just looked at the 2 and said, "Who the hell is going to beat that horse?" So I like Fingal's Cave, 4 straight wins before losing to a horse by the name of Wicked Halo.
Yeah, pretty good.
I don't think any of these horses are in that category. Finished second, lost by 4. I just don't see anything in there in my little world. I just love the way this horse is run, and that's my pick. So I'm going to go with the favorite. I bet that horse is like 8-5, 7-5 though on the morning when they go out.
Well, here's why I didn't pick that horse.
All right,
432-day layoff. That is scary to me.
A what?
A 432-day layoff.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
That's a lot of days.
That is.
So I'm a little worried.
Okay, I changed my mind.
The other problem is the other 5 horses in this race are in form. I mean, they've been running.
Yeah.
Maybe the form.
I didn't see that.
Maybe the form isn't good, but they have been running. I went back to an old friend. I may regret it. I went number 3, Vinny Valentine. There are times this horse steps up and runs a big race and wins races just like this, or even a little bit tougher. You go back and you look, this horse has 6 victories. Most of them have come at this distance, at 1 mile. And so I thought that was a big factor in this horse's favor today, getting back to the 1 mile distance. The form at times has been a little sketchy. At times it hasn't been so bad. You can pretty much count on her to come with a run. I think she's going to swoop up on the outside and get it done today. So I went with number 3, Vinny Valentine on top. I do like Fingal's Cave. I think that's a horse you better use. I thought the 6, Know It All Audrey, is another one that's very interesting in this spot as well. So
yeah, just looking at it again, that would be my second pick, coming off a win at this track. In a $250,000 stakes, I would think that horse with the 3 would be good. But obviously, I did not look close enough on the 2. I never bet a horse that's coming off a 432-day layoff. So something's wrong with that horse. Something happened.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but is back today. Is the class of the field. If back and ready to roll, going to be tough. But I just think it makes it tricky with that kind of layoff when all the other ones have been running. So
probably need
all right. We're going to go Magic's best bet first. Now,
Right.
in his defense, we may give him a mulligan, and I think he deserves it because 2 of the horses that he gave me both scratched. And so he kind of had to give me this on the fly. He was driving and he's like, look, I can't handicap it all again. So he went with Trevor Siemian under 175.5 passing yards tonight for his best bet. Of course, he's a Siemian, the quarterback of the Jets tonight. So he's going under the passing total. Again, we might give him a mulligan. It's kind of been tough because he certainly had a couple of horses that I was agreeing with as well. They both scratched. And so then it's like, I'm sorry, buddy. So we'll see. If he wins, we'll count it. If he loses, we may not count that one.
I kind of like this bet. I do. Cleveland's defense is really good.
Yeah.
It's not a bad bet at all.
He is very, very good about wanting to participate in the show. And so he didn't want to just not give one. So, and I'm with Dennis. It's like, I think that's a coin flip type bet. I'm not going to be shocked at all if that comes in, but I don't know with these totals. A lot of times it depends on what's happening in the game. Like, do the Jets get way behind and now they're throwing the ball all over the place because they have to? I don't know. I hate it. So,
another thing on that too is he can throw a little 5-yard pass out in the flat and a back breaks it and gets loose and goes 75 yards on a 5-yard pass, but it goes down as a 75-yard reception. Right. Those are the things that kill you when you're betting on passing yards.
And when you got Breece Hall, that could happen. So, look, like I said, we might give him a mulligan. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But listen, the thing about it is I haven't studied it, this specific bet. Magic has. That I can totally confirm. This is one of his best bets. He didn't just make this up. So he's got his reasoning, and hopefully he gets it, and we get a win here with this one. All right. I'll go to mine real quick. Mahoning Valley. If you've been following my best bets on the website, Mahoning Valley's been very, very, very good to me. So I will stick with Mahoning Valley once again. If you missed it, I'm trying to figure out on the day after Christmas, I had $100 exacta that came in and paid a profit of $810 at Mahoning Valley. Got a couple more home yesterday at Mahoning Valley. So I'm going to go Woodland Walk, the 4 in the 4th race today. I think this should be a walkover for this horse. He looks very, very good in this one. I think they'll be very hard-pressed to catch Woodland Walk. A big win over this track last time out. I think he gets another one today. So Mahoning Valley, race 4, number 4, Woodland Walk for me. All right, Papa Dude, we skipped one bowl game because it was your best bet, so you can talk about that one now.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing going on these bowl games. I've struggled so much, but I really looked at this one a lot, and I'm not too sure I wouldn't pick them over K-State anyway, despite what's happened, transfer portals and everything else. The way North Carolina State finished the season compared to the way Kansas State did. K-State's been ravished by the portal. The quarterback's gone. Their 2 best receivers are gone. They've lost some defensive players as well. But we've kind of seen in these bowl games, sometimes that hasn't mattered. You can't really tell. Look at USC last night. So North Carolina State, though, is playing really at a high level, and they can get to 10 wins with a win. And I just think they're going to beat them tonight. And I almost took them on the money line. I almost did. But for the way the bowl games, I just don't trust anything. So I'm going to go the Wolfpack +3. They didn't get hit near as hard in the portal as Kansas State did. And I think they may have beat them straight up with everybody's players anyway. So I like the Wolfpack to beat the Wildcats tonight. And wherever that is. I don't even know where it is.
It's a Pop-Tarts Bowl tonight.
Pop-Tarts. I love that too.
I think that's in Orlando.
By the way, did you see the trophy for that?
For the Pop-Tarts? No, I did not.
They got little slits up on the top where they can put a Pop-Tart in there. That may have been fake. I don't know.
That game is in Orlando. Yeah. I think that was the game. It used to be the Cheez-It Bowl.
That was the
game OU played in.
Yeah. I think this will be a good game too. I do.
I do too. 2 places have moved the line to North Carolina State +2. We've made money on North Carolina State this year. They really haven't got respected like we kind of thought they should have. I like this one as well. I'm with you. I'm not sure what Kansas State's going to bring out there. They're definitely sketchy.
They've had a disappointing year too.
They have. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus 110 if you want it on the money line right now,
Yeah.
according to
It's
Car
down to
Ramrod.
2. You know, it's it was 2.5 when I got up this morning. Then it went to 3, and now it's down to 2. So there's some money going around on this game.
Yep, there definitely is for sure.
Yep.
All right, so North Carolina State plus 3. We'll see what happens. That game, that's the 4:45 Central Time kickoff on that one. So
it'll be a good one before the OU game.
All right. Yes, it will. Listen, all these games I think are fun. I like to watch these games in Fenway and Yankee Stadium. I think that's cool. And then you get this one that you just talked about, and then the OU game. So it's a pretty good day for college football today for sure.
And the weather here is nasty. So
yes, it is. It has been for a while. Yep. All right, let's go to the picks today for the best bets. I'm going to go Mahoning Valley race 4, the number 4 Woodland Walk. Magic's going to go Trevor Siemian under 175.5 passing yards. And Papa Dude's going to go North Carolina State plus 3. Of course, 0 and 0, up 320 for the year. We had a very, very tough week last week. I'm going to blame mine on COVID. I wasn't thinking clearly.
I think so.
Obviously. So
I'm blaming mine on Santa Claus.
Or that too. Yeah. We probably, we were just busy all around. It is snowing here as well. Little bits of snow every now and then coming down. So yeah, nice day to just be inside, watch TV and watch us, because we will be back. Papa Dude and I will be back 33 minutes from now, noon Central Time. We'll do Dudes Who Bet Sports. We'll talk about everything NFL and, of course, college football as we'll go through the remaining bowl games, including the national semifinals. We're finally there. We'll talk about those. And I don't know if Jared knows that it's Thursday or not, so we'll see if Blinkers Off happens today at some point. We'll find out, but I would imagine it would. All right, so that'll do it for today. Those are the best bets. That's sort of the schedule. So we'll see you right back here in 33 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you here pretty soon.